Today, I have a really cool technique to share with you that you probably haven't seen before. We're going to finish the edges of our facing and attach the interfacing in a way that is going to save you time and make your garments look even nicer than they already do. We are going to eliminate a whole step to the sewing process. So normally when we're working with our facing and our interfacing, we want to apply the interfacing to the back of our facing piece, and then we're going to choose a method to finish the edge. You could add bias tape, you could serge it or zigzag it, or you could just flip it under and stitch it down. Well, today I've got a new method for you. We are going to be using our interfacing for finishing the edge of our facing. Just real quick before we start on our interfacing journey, if you'd like to learn even more about sewing, make sure you check out my online and in-person classes along with the online sewing club. There's links down below for everything. Now let's get back to mastering the facing. When using this method, there's one really important thing to consider, and that's what type of interfacing are you using? Now, I'm going to highly suggest that you're using a woven interfacing. Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but it's going to hold up so much better because it is woven fabric that you're using as the interfacing. Now it can have a fusible glue on the back of it, or it could just be a sew-in. Either one is great, but I want you to make sure you're using a woven interfacing. If you are using the felted interfacing that rips apart really easy for this technique, it's not gonna last as long and your garments are not gonna look as nice. For this demo, I'm going to be using a pattern piece that is the back of a waist facing. The first step in this technique is placing your facing right side face up. And then if you are using a fusible interfacing, you're going to place the non-fusible side on the right side of the fabric. And now what we're going to do is sew the very bottom edge of it. And since this is a curve, we are going to sew it at 1/4 of an inch. You could even do 1/8 of an inch. So I have the side of interfacing with the glue on it right now facing me. Now that this seam is sewn, since it is a curve, I am going to clip into it a little bit. And if you've got some really thick fabric, remember you can fold it and cut little triangles out of it. So that way you're eliminating some of that fabric there. Really up to you for your project. Once you have it clipped, we're going to take our piece and we are going to flip the glue side of the interfacing towards the wrong side here of our facing. And I always like to roll it in my fingers, make sure that seam's gonna pop out real nice for me. And now we're going to fuse it down. And now we have a beautiful finish to the edge of our facing piece. Doesn't this edge look super nice? Let's compare it to the other methods. So before, you might have been serging, bias binding, or turning under your edge for your facing. But now you have one more option. You can sew your interfacing to your facing and flip it to the inside for a nice clean edge. This method is great for anywhere you do have a facing, but I think it's particularly great for jackets with facings. So that way, when you do see the inside of the jacket, if you see that little edge pop back a little bit, all you see is another piece of fabric with a clean finish. You're not going to see the back of your fabric with that interfacing on it. It's just going to look like fabric. I'd love to know what you think of this method for finishing your facing. Leave it down below in the comments. Let me know if you're going to try it out. Let me know if you already use it and where you like to use it in your projects or where you might try it out in a new project. Thank you so much for watching Sewing Anastasia today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when the new tutorials come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for watching today. These videos are for you guys. And if you want to learn more about sewing, make sure you check out the online and in-person classes. And a great place to continue learning to sew with all those awesome techniques we use is in the sewing club, where you get a new pattern every single month. So cool. So check that out through the links down below. And if you want to know what's going on in the studio right now, today, make sure you check out my Instagram stories. Thank you so much for watching today. Bye.